Hey everyone, and welcome back to Augmented Voices, where we like to do these deep dives into all things AI.
Yeah, we do.
And today we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of different sources and try and pull out, I guess, the most important stuff, the stuff that's going to be most useful to you.
Right.
So, I guess one of the most interesting sources that we're going to be looking at is this podcast interview that Billy Lyle did. He was on the Go Radio Business Show.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So, and he was talking about all sorts of stuff, and we're going to be trying to condense that down and pull out the most interesting stuff from that,
Right.
as well as a bunch of other new tools that have come out just in the last couple of weeks.
Okay, great. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
So, I guess if we jump straight into it, one of the things that Billy was talking about was this idea that AI is becoming much more accessible
Right. Yeah.
than it has been in the past. And so he's sort of urging businesses to start getting involved with it now.
Yeah. He really emphasized that businesses need to start experimenting with AI now because it's actually more affordable and accessible than most people realize.
Yeah. And he predicts that it's going to have a pretty dramatic impact on professional services.
Yeah, like lawyers and accountants and consultants,
Yeah.
all those fields are going to look radically different in just a few years.
So if you're in one of those fields, you better get on board.
Exactly. The people who adapt quickly are going to be the ones who thrive.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Billy's actually got this company called Illuminate AI.
Yeah.
And they actually help businesses to implement AI in a really practical way.
Yeah, that's great because it's one thing to understand like the potential of AI, but it's another thing entirely to know how to actually use it to solve problems, real world problems.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess moving on from Billy, there's a couple of other really interesting tools that have come out. One of them is Claude AI.
Okay. Yeah.
And they got these two new features. One is called computer use, and the other one is called a data analysis tool.
Okay, cool.
So the computer use one is pretty interesting because you can basically take a screenshot of a form or something on your computer.
Right.
And Claude can actually interact with the computer through that screenshot.
Wow. So you can fill in forms and stuff like that?
Yeah, it can click buttons. It can make selections from menus.
That's pretty amazing. It's like having a virtual assistant that lives inside your computer,
I know. It's pretty wild. When I first heard about it, I was like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah, just think of all the time we waste on these mundane tasks.
Totally.
Like filling out forms and, booking travel arrangements and all that stuff.
Yeah, what could we do with that extra time,
Exactly. And while it's still kind of in its early stages, it has the potential to revolutionize the way we work. I mean, think about customer service reps. They could be handling dozens of inquiries simultaneously.
Right, or people in HR automating all sorts of processes.
Exactly. Onboarding new employees, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the possibilities are really endless.
Yeah. So, listener, what would you do if you had all this extra time?
Yeah, imagine all the things you could accomplish.
Yeah, so I guess it's not all perfect at the moment.
Yeah, there are a few limitations. It can be a bit slow sometimes.
Okay.
And it struggles with actions that require smooth scrolling or dragging.
Right.
But, it's still early days.
Yeah, those are just growing pains.
Yeah, exactly. Give it time. It'll get there.
So I guess the other Claude AI tool is this data analysis tool.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. You can upload a data file to it, and Claude will actually analyze the data and create visualizations for you.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So no more staring at spreadsheets, trying to decipher patterns.
Exactly.
It's all about making data accessible and actionable.
Yeah, and you can identify bottlenecks in your sales funnel, or you can track customer behavior.
See trends that you might not have even noticed before.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It really is.
So speaking of data crunching capabilities, let's move on to Meta.
Okay, yeah, Meta's been doing a lot in the AI space lately.
Yeah, they've got this new open source AI model called Spirit LM.
Okay.
And this is a multimodal AI, which I know sounds a bit technical.
Right.
But basically it means that it can understand and work with different types of input and output, not just text.
Okay, so like text, speech, images, videos.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So for example, you could give Spirit a voice command and it would create a written report for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Or you could type in a question and it would give you a spoken response.
That's incredible. The possibilities are endless.
I know, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is.
So I guess this is going to open up a lot of opportunities for things like accessibility, customer support, and interactive applications.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine how much easier it would be to interact with technology if you could just talk to it.
Yeah, it would be great. And I guess in education as well.
Oh, yeah, make learning much more interactive and engaging.
Yeah, definitely. So Spirit can actually understand and reflect emotions.
So if you type in a message that's really frustrated or angry,
Yeah,
Spirit will know that you're upset and adjust its tone accordingly.
that's right.
That's wild. Think about the potential for building more empathetic AI systems, like customer service chatbots that can actually de-escalate situations.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's interesting because Billy actually mentioned that Sir Tom Hunter, who's one of the hosts of the Go Radio Business Show, he's now asking every business that pitches to him how they plan to incorporate AI.
Wow, that's a really smart approach.
I know.
It forces businesses to think about AI not as some distant future technology,
Yeah.
but as a core part of their current operations and their future growth.
Exactly. So it's no longer a question of if, but when AI is going to become mainstream. So speaking of making AI accessible to a wider audience, Meta has also released these quantized llama models.
Okay.
So quantized basically means they can run faster and they use less memory.
Oh, that's interesting. So businesses with limited hardware, they can now run powerful AI without needing those big expensive servers.
Exactly.
They could even run it on their mobile devices.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that opens up a lot of possibilities, especially in industries or regions where computing power has been a barrier.
And I guess it's good for the environment as well because
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because AI can be very energy intensive.
yeah, so finding ways to reduce its footprint is crucial.
Absolutely. So it's faster, cheaper, and more environmentally friendly.
I know, it's a win-win-win.
It really is.
So let's move on to Canva.
Okay, Canva.
Yeah, they've released a new text-to-image generator.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Powered by Leonardo AI. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You just type in what you want to see, and Canva generates a high-quality image for you.
Wow. So no more searching through endless stock photo websites.
And what's really cool is that Leonardo AI is really good at creating images with different visual styles. So if you're not a designer,
Yeah.
you can still create professional-looking visuals that are consistent with your brand.
Right.
It's perfect for small businesses or entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, what if Canva could actually analyze the visual style of a document,
Whoa.
like a presentation or a website,
Yeah.
and then just automatically generate images that match that style?
That would be incredible.
Talk about a seamless design experience.
I know, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we need to take a breather for a second and just let all this sink in.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
We have.
From the urgency of adopting AI to the just incredible potential of all these new tools.
Yeah, and it's clear that AI is becoming more accessible and user-friendly every day.
Absolutely. The barriers to entry are coming down and the possibilities are exploding.
So listener, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, jump in and explore the world of AI.
Yeah.
Don't be intimidated.
Be curious, be playful,
Be bold.
and most importantly, have fun with it.
Absolutely. It's true. It's almost like we're creating the future by talking about it.
Yeah, and I guess that brings us back to what Billy was saying about, if he had the choice, he would probably turn AI off.
Right. But nobody's going to turn it off.
Yeah.
It's here to stay.
Yeah, it is. And that really highlights the need for us to be, having these discussions and thinking about how we develop it responsibly.
Yeah. I mean, what are the downsides? How do we mitigate the risks and how do we make sure that it's used for good?
Right, exactly. And, it's not all doom and gloom. Billy also talked about how AI could actually level the playing field in some ways.
Yeah, he mentioned how it could empower smaller businesses to compete with the big guys.
Right, because traditionally, access to cutting-edge tech has always been a huge advantage for large companies with lots of money to throw around.
Yeah.
But now AI is becoming more affordable,
Yeah.
more accessible. We could see a real shift in the power dynamic.
It's like giving everybody a superpower. It is. And that could lead to some really exciting innovation, across all kinds of industries.
Definitely. And it's not just about competition either. I mean, think about how AI could be used to solve some of the world's biggest problems, like improving healthcare or education.
Yeah, or access to clean water. I mean,
Yeah.
the possibilities are huge.
So listener, take a moment and just imagine a world where we're using AI to solve these huge problems.
Yeah. What would that world look like?
Yeah. What role would you play in shaping that world?
That's a great question to think about, because we've talked a lot about the positive side of things, but there are also, some legitimate concerns and, job displacement is a big one.
Yeah. People are worried that robots are going to take their jobs.
Right. And as these AI systems become more and more sophisticated, there is a risk that they'll automate a lot of the jobs that humans do currently.
Yeah, but I think it's important to remember that, technology has always disrupted the job market. New jobs have emerged, old jobs have evolved, and the important thing is to be adaptable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be willing to learn new skills.
Yeah, because those are going to be the jobs of the future.
Exactly, and that's why education and training are so important. We need to prepare people for the jobs of the future, not the jobs of the past.
Yeah, for sure. So, listener, I challenge you to go out there this week and explore the world of AI education.
Yeah, there are tons of free resources online.
Yeah, you don't have to become a data scientist or anything.
No, just dip your toes in the water and see what you find,
Yeah, you might be surprised at what you discover.
You might even find your next career path.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we wrap things up, I want to go back to what you were saying earlier about, the need for responsible AI development.
Right. Yeah, we need to be having these conversations now as AI is becoming more and more integrated into our lives.
Yeah, I mean, we have to think about the ethical implications, the potential biases, and the unintended consequences.
Exactly. And we can't just leave these decisions to the tech companies or the governments.
No, we all need to be involved in shaping the future of AI.
We do. And that starts with education awareness and engagement.
Yeah, it starts with, asking questions, challenging assumptions, and demanding transparency.
Right. It starts with each of us taking responsibility for the role that we play in this whole thing.
Yeah, so listener, as you're going about your day-to-day life, just keep AI in mind.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it. Embrace it, explore it, and most importantly, use your voice to help shape the future of AI.
I like that that's a good note to end on.
Yeah, it really is a new frontier, isn't it?
It is, and that's what I love about, talking about AI on this show. It would be so easy to just focus on, all the cool new tools and all the, whiz-bang features and stuff. But I think it's more important to have these conversations about, the bigger picture stuff.
Right, the impact it's having on us, as a society.
Exactly. Yeah, and speaking of which, Billy said something in that interview that's really been sticking with me. He said, if I had a magic wand,
Yeah.
And I could just wave it and make AI go away, I probably would.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful statement coming from someone who, works in AI.
Yeah. What do you think he meant by that?
I think it just shows how much responsibility comes with this technology. We're not just talking about, self-driving cars anymore.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that can write, like a human can create art.
Make decisions.
Yeah, make decisions that affect people's lives.
And that's kind of scary in a way.
Yeah, there's huge potential for good, but also, potential for harm.
Yeah. And I guess that's why it's so important to be having these conversations.
Exactly. We need to involve everyone in this, ethicists, social scientists, philosophers, everyday people.
Yeah.
We need to be thinking about not just what AI can do.
But what it should do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's easy to get overwhelmed by all of this, I think.
Yeah, it can be a lot to take in.
But we have to remember that we have a choice. You
Yeah,
know?
we do.
We get to shape the future of AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So, stay informed, stay engaged, and be willing to experiment.
Yes. Don't just sit back and let it happen. Go out there and try things out, explore the possibilities.
Yeah, see how you can use it to improve your own life and your work and, your community even.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a journey, isn't it?
It is.
And it's only just beginning.
It is.
So I think that's a great place to wrap things up.
I agree.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We talked about the need to adopt AI now.
The new tools that are coming out.
Like Claude and Spirit LM and Canva's text-to-image generator.
We talked about responsible development, ethical considerations, and the fact that we all have the power to shape the future.
So, listener, as you continue to explore this amazing world of AI, just remember to be curious.
Be critical.
And be bold.
The future is in our hands.
Let's make it a good one.
Let's do it.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll catch you next time on Augmented Voices.